Ever pull a brand new shirt out of the bag and find a loose thread? Yeah, it's a small thing, but it's annoying, right? We kind of just expect our clothes to be perfect. But behind every well-made garment, there's a whole hidden world of people making sure that happens. So today, let's pull back the curtain on quality inspection and follow one person's journey from a total rookie to a true guardian of quality. You know, if you think about it, every piece of clothing has a story. It starts with a designer's idea, moves through fabric mills and dye houses, and finally gets stitched together by skilled hands. It's a whole journey.
And this is where we meet our guy. Let's call him Raheem. He's a quality inspector, and his job, his whole purpose, is to be the final editor of that story, to make sure the version that gets to you is a tale of excellence, not some sloppy first draft.
All right, so it's Raheem's first day, and like any first day, it all starts with the basics. He's not looking for microscopic flaws or complex construction issues. He's just learning to, well, see. He's training to become what they call a spotter.
This is basically his starting checklist. It's all about what you can see and feel right away. Is it clean? Any random oil spots or dirt? Are there little threads hanging off everywhere that need to be snipped? He's running his hands over the buttons and zippers, feeling for anything sharp. It's that first crucial pass, training his eyes and his hands to catch the obvious stuff before it goes any further.
So, after a while, Raheem gets really good at spotting these surface-level flaws. But he starts to realize that true quality isn't just about what looks good at a quick glance. It's built on a foundation of precision, on rules you can't see with the naked eye.
I mean, it's one thing to say a seam looks a little crooked. That's just an opinion, right? To really get control over quality, you need cold, hard numbers. You need objective standards that take all the guesswork out of the equation. And that brings us to this absolutely critical idea: tolerance. Think of it as the official rule for close enough. It's that tiny, precisely defined margin of error that separates a perfect garment from a defective one. It's not about being kinda right, it's about being precisely right. So how precise are we talking here? Well, get this. For a seam to be considered straight, the maximum wiggle room, the tolerance, is just 3 millimeters. That's like the thickness of 2 dimes stacked on top of each other. Anything more than that, and nope, it fails the inspection. That's the level of detail Raheem is now training his eye to catch.
And check this out. This image is a perfect example of why that matters. On the left, you've got a snap fastener that's attached perfectly. It's secure. On the right, well, it looks okay at first, but you can see the little prongs didn't go through right. An untrained eye would miss it, but Raheem knows that fastener is going to pop off the first time you wear it. See? He's not just looking anymore, he's analyzing.
And this is where Raheem's job gets really interesting. This new level of analysis means he starts to see patterns. He's not just finding one-off mistakes. And when the same problem keeps popping up over and over again, he has to shift gears. He stops being just an inspector and becomes a detective. So a mystery lands on his desk. A whole run of shirts has this weird puckering along the side seams. Now, the old Raheem would have just marked the whole batch as fail and moved on. But Detective Raheem asks the most important question you can ask. Why? Why does this keep happening? And just like that, the investigation is on. He's got a list of suspects straight out of the production manual. Could the sewing needle be damaging the fabric itself? Maybe the stitches are too close together or too far apart. Or, here's a common one, maybe the tension on the thread in the sewing machine is just cranked up way too high, pulling everything tight. Each one is a clue he has to investigate. And this is the game changer right here. Because by finding that root cause, the why, let's say it was the thread tension, Raheem can go back to the production team and say, hey, let's adjust this setting on machine number 5. He's not just catching a bad batch, he's fixing the problem so it never happens again. He's moving from being reactive to being proactive. This proactive mindset is the final evolution in Raheem's journey. This is where he achieves a whole new level of expertise. He's not just inspecting the final product anymore, or even just investigating flaws. He's now helping to build the process itself, to bake quality in from the very beginning. This flowchart for attaching snap fasteners shows you exactly what that mastery looks like. Look at this! Before they even start making the actual clothes, they have to go through all these steps, get the specs from the supplier, use the right tool, make test strips, pull on them to make sure they're strong. The whole process is a series of quality gates. This is what mastery is. You prevent failure by design. Now, to maintain this level of quality while making thousands of garments, masters like Raheem use some seriously powerful tools. One of the biggest is called Statistical Process Control, or SPC.
It sounds complicated, but it's basically a way to use data to keep a constant eye on the manufacturing process in real time.
Think of it like a heartbeat monitor for the production line. They take super precise measurements at regular times and plot them on a chart. As long as the little dots stay between the upper and lower control limits, everything is great, the process is stable. But if a measurement ever goes outside those lines, boom, it's like an alarm goes off. Production stops right there until they figure out what's wrong. This prevents thousands of bad items from ever being made in the first place.
And so, Rahim's transformation is complete. He went from a novice just spotting loose threads, to a detective solving production mysteries, and finally, to a master helping design the quality systems themselves. He's become so much more than just an inspector.
Because he finally understands the real point of his job. It's not just about saying no to bad clothes. Every check he makes, every process he helps improve, it's all about keeping a promise to the customer that they're getting what they paid for, and a promise that protects the brand's hard-earned reputation.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The inspector is standing in this incredibly important spot. They're the last person to protect you, the customer, from a shoddy product. And at the same time, they're the very first person responsible for guarding the trust you put in that brand.
So, next time you put on your favorite jacket or a comfy t-shirt, maybe take an extra second to look at the little details, the straightness of the seams, the secureness of the buttons, because you might just see a story of incredible care and precision and the invisible hand of a guardian like Rahim, who made absolutely sure it was a good one.